and Toni told us that they didn't have the funds together to get the plane shipped, that really put a burden on my heart that I wanted to help, because that's a big part of their mission, is to have the plane, and that's like their whole mission basically, besides helping the people directly. And they love flying. Gary loves flying, so I said we have to help Gary get this plane.
And that's when you talked to Dad.
So I talked to my family, talked to my mom and dad, and said, is there anything we can do to help raise? Back then Gary said it cost about $20,000. I said we have to raise $20,000 to get this done. And so we were racking our brains and making lists of who we could ask and all that. And then my brother and I were talking, and I said, well, why don't we just go directly to a shipping company? That would be much more efficient rather than trying to get all this money from all these different people. Let's just talk to a shipping company. So the shipping company that came to my mind was Matson, because my parents and my family and I were in Hawaii back in the 70s, and Matson moved us over there. And when we were in Hawaii last summer vacationing, we saw the shipping company right there on the harbor every day lifting these big containers with the cranes, and it was in my brain, Matson, we got to.
So you were just impressed, yeah.
Yeah, so.
And then because my husband had worked in Hawaii with Matson so much, he said, I'll just call right at the top.
Right, because we were going to drive out there and talk to the
faith,
company.
and we'll pray about it, that God will impress the right people. And when he did, we wrote the letter to Matson, and then we called him and talked to him, and we got a hold of a vice president, and he said, I'm the son of missionaries from China. And he said, I will really try to help you. And so that's when the process started.
Right, we said that we would have our church pray, because they said that it would take a couple of weeks before they took it to their board. And so my dad said, well, we'll have the church pray. That'll give us 2 weeks to pray for your board to make this decision. And he said, well, that'll be great, because I think that's when he said he was a missionary. And it just all kind of fell together there.
And he was excited. He looked on the web and saw the project. He said it's a really good project.
That we first thought about asking Matson, we were at a Vespers where we were explaining this idea, I should say, to one of our church members, Dwayne, or actually his wife's our church member, and he said, Dwayne's a pilot, he's a commercial guy, so he knows big business. He goes, man, Matson's a pretty big company. I don't think that this is going to happen, So it's been a great faith builder for all of us, including, each person that's been involved. But yeah, so then 2 weeks later.
Well, then we got the okay, and we got the letter, and my husband and I read the letter and reread it, and it says it sounds like it doesn't totally take care of everything. It takes care of the container, but not the shipping, because they bill it differently. And so we called, and I told my husband, I said, you better check. I said, make sure that we have the whole package, both the shipping and the container. And he said, no, it was just for the container. And we said, well, we have to resubmit then to this. And so at that time the church had actually already been notified that everything was taken care of, and there was a misunderstanding and it wasn't taken care of. So we had to resubmit. In the meantime, we had all the crew ready to come down here and to tear the plane apart, and at that time we really did not have the final okay. And that was kind of a faith adventure.
We had taken the plane apart, and then we find out that the right and the left hands of the company aren't communicating, and talking to each other.
And so we didn't even tell her about it. We just went ahead and just kept plodding along until we got the final okay. And we got the final okay, 2 weeks ago?
I remember just praying, God, we've stepped out on faith.
So it took 3 months.
We've taken the plane apart. We've got everything down there. It's sitting there. What are you going to do? You've got to help us, God. You've got to do this. And sure enough, they came through and got it to us at a way reduced cost.
So here we are today.
Of $1,600.
And God is certainly blessed.
Yeah. Thank you to God, thank you to Matson and everybody. It's awesome. And it's just God working together to get this plane over to Gary and Toni so they can do their mission work.
Right.
That's good.
Be still, my soul, the Lord is on thy side. Bear patiently the cross of grief or pain. Leave to thy God powers who rule them while he dwells below. Be still.